The story begins in Bethlehem during a time of famine. A man named Elimelech, his wife Naomi, and their 2 sons leave their home behind in search of food and a future. They travel to Moab, a foreign land with foreign gods. At first, there is hope. The sons marry Moabite women, Orpah and Ruth. But then tragedy strikes. Elimelech dies. And then both sons die too. Naomi is left with nothing, no husband, no sons, no future. Just grief. And 2 young daughters-in-law who are now widows themselves. Word spreads that the famine in Bethlehem is over. Food has returned to Judah. Naomi decides to go home. On the road, she turns to Orpah and Ruth. Go back to your families. You're still young. Remarry. Build a new life. I have nothing left to give you. Orpah weeps, kisses Naomi goodbye, and returns to Moab. But Ruth clings to her. Naomi urges her again, go back, my daughter. Why follow me? My life is bitter. The Lord's hand has turned against me. But Ruth looks into Naomi's tear-stained eyes and speaks words that echo through history. Don't urge me to leave you or turn back from you. Where you go, I will go. Where you stay, I will stay. Your people will be my people, and your God, my God. It's more than loyalty. It's love. A love willing to lay down everything for the sake of another. So the 2 women, weary and poor, walk the dusty road back to Bethlehem together. When Naomi returns, the women of the town whisper, "Can this be Naomi?" She answers bitterly, "Don't call me Naomi, which means pleasant. Call me Mara, which means bitter. For the Almighty has dealt bitterly with me." But Ruth is by her side. Harvest season is beginning, and in the fields a new chapter is waiting. Ruth goes out to glean, gathering leftover stalks of grain the workers leave behind. She bends low, collecting bit by bit, simply hoping to provide for Naomi. As it happens, she finds herself in the fields of Boaz, a wealthy landowner, and a relative of Naomi's late husband. Boaz notices her. He hears of her loyalty to Naomi, and he shows her kindness. He instructs his workers to leave extra grain for her. He offers protection. Ruth returns home with arms full, and Naomi's eyes widen with hope for the first time in years. Naomi recognizes God's hand. She explains to Ruth, Boaz is a kinsman redeemer, someone who can marry Ruth, provide for her, and restore their family's future. Naomi devises a plan. One night, Ruth goes to the threshing floor where Boaz is sleeping after the harvest. She lays at his feet, a symbolic gesture humbly asking him to redeem her, to spread his covering of protection over her. Boaz is moved by her courage and her devotion. But he is also honorable. He promises to settle the matter properly. The next day, Boaz goes to the town gate. In front of witnesses, he redeems the land of Naomi's family and takes Ruth as his wife. The town blesses them. May the Lord make this woman like Rachel and Leah, who built up the house of Israel. Ruth and Boaz marry, and soon Ruth gives birth to a son, Obed. Naomi holds the child in her arms, her bitterness melting into joy. The women proclaim, Naomi has a son. That boy, Obed, would become the grandfather of King David, and part of the family line that would one day lead to Jesus. The story of Ruth and Naomi is more than ancient history. It's about loyalty and loss, hope and despair, redemption when all seems broken. Naomi thought her story was over. Ruth gave her life back. Ruth thought she had no future. God wove her into the greatest story of all. It reminds us, even in bitterness, even in emptiness, God is still at work. Sometimes through the quiet, faithful love of someone who refuses to walk away.